Have you reflected on your actions? It looks like you didn't come home last night, but if you feel bad for what you said, then I want you to call me. I really hope you're adult enough to accept what you said was wrong. I'll forgive you if you swear to never say anything like that ever again. It did really humiliate me.
I did come home last night. It was early in the morning, so I was considerate enough to not wake you up. I slept on the couch for an hour or two.
What? You got inside? How? I thought I locked the door with the chain lock.
Sorry I ruined your plans to spite me. I got in through the back door, how else?
I forgot about that. But why would you come back and leave for work again without saying anything? Do you really not feel bad for saying what you did? You should be reflecting on your actions, not finding ways to avoid apologizing to me.
I should be reflecting on my actions? Well, you're right. In some ways, it was wrong of me to be so critical of the dinners you make for me. I shouldn't complain, since it's better than not getting anything at all, and I do feel bad. But you have to meet me halfway here. You can't honestly think that I'm completely in the wrong, Natalie.
Why should I? You're in the wrong.
I've asked you so many times to stop doing that with the food, but you still do it. I had enough, so I complained, so sue me!
You just want to complain about my cooking skills.
Your cooking skills were fine until recently. I had nothing to complain about up until now. But one day, all of a sudden, you started putting blue cheese in everything. Every single dinner for the past few weeks has contained it in solid or dressing form. You can't seriously believe that I wouldn't complain about that, would you? It's not normal. Do you really think everything tastes good with blue cheese in it?
If you don't like it, then don't eat it. Blue cheese is good for your health. It has high calcium content. That means that it's good for your bones. Don't complain when I'm only thinking about making a balanced diet for you. And you're just over-exaggerating. Of course I wouldn't put blue cheese and stuff if I didn't think it would taste good. The stew I made the other night tasted fine.
That's a poor excuse. You were eating around the clumps. You clearly didn't want to eat it either. If it's so healthy, then you should be able to eat it with stew. And FYI, it's not balanced if it's in every meal. But because I made one complaint, you had to blow up, kick me out, and lock the door on me. Don't you think you overreacted yourself?
I couldn't stand looking at your face anymore. What do you expect? I was hurt because you insulted me. Sometimes I need to have time to myself too, you know. And after being so critical, you should have been a bit more understanding of that.
So what? You didn't have to lock me out. If I didn't have my wallet, I wouldn't have been able to find a place to sleep. I would have happily spent the night on the couch if you had just told me you needed space. And I was only being honest about dinner because I've asked you to stop too many times.
And I'm telling you, your brutal honesty is why I was so hurt. You're always complaining about my cooking. Go on and on about how this is wrong and that's no good, blah 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 blah. If you hate eating the food I prepare for you that much, then why don't you leave and never come back?
I don't have any complaints about your cooking. I love the food you make. Or the food you were making until you became so fond of blue cheese. I've told you over and over that I've had enough of it, but you still keep adding it to our dinners in some way. Do you remember when you put blue cheese on the curry you made a while ago? I told you I didn't like blue cheese. I don't think a lot of people do, so I thought you would understand. But you just keep putting it on our food.
Then I guess that means that we don't have the same taste in food. Fine. You don't have to eat anything I make anymore. I won't force you to like what I like. Make your own dinner.
Why do you have to be like that? Is it so hard to not add blue cheese to the meals you make? It's not like you really like it either. What did I do to deserve this? Did I piss you off? I don't understand why you keep on doing it. So I can only assume that you're doing it on purpose, and I thought you were being cute at first, but it's happened so much it's not funny anymore.
Is that so? Because I kicked you out of the house?
That's part of it, but I have other reasons too.
Well, I might have overdone it if I put the chain lock on the door, but to be honest, I was so annoyed that I forgot I even locked it and went to bed. It's your fault that I couldn't even enjoy my evening bath. I only just realized that I hadn't unlocked it when you said you slept on the couch. But you're an adult. It's not like you'd die if you spent one night on the streets, right? And you had your wallet, so you were able to spend the night somewhere. Isn't that good enough? If you complain about my cooking one more time, you'll have an even bigger problem to think about. Do you understand?
I think you're the one that has a bigger problem to think about right now. You left your phone in the living room last night.
Really? So what if I did?
Yeah, you did. And I saw all the notifications you had from some guy. I think his name was Thomas Reed. What's that all about?
What? Did you look at my phone? I can't believe you. You invaded my privacy.
Your phone kept on going off. What was I supposed to do? And it's not my fault you made messages visible on your push notifications. Why was he saying that it was a shame that he didn't get to see you yesterday? Who is this guy? Are you seeing him? Are you cheating on me?
Why does it matter who he is? It's none of your business.
Don't give me that crap. It affects me, and you're my wife, so of course it's my business. Tell me the truth. You're serving me blue cheese for every meal. You locked me out of my own house. And you're cheating on me? But I'm the bad guy for asking you not to put blue cheese on my food? I suspected that you were having an affair, but I thought I was being paranoid and decided not to do anything. I wanted to trust you, but now I know about him. I can only think that you were giving me blue cheese because you wanted to annoy me. Did you think that I would divorce you and that you'd be able to live happily ever after with your lover?
Shut up. He's an important person to me. Don't talk about him like that.
What? Are you being serious? When we got married, I thought that I was that important person. But I guess wedding vows mean nothing to you.
Yeah, he's important to me. In comparison, you mean nothing.
Since when have you been dating? How long have you been cheating on me?
Since way before. He's my childhood friend. He knows me more than you do, and he's a lot more fun to spend time with. All you do is complain about my food, and I can't be with you anymore. He understands me, and I understand him. We were meant to be together, but you got in the way of that.
Oh, really? It sounds like you've been cheating on me for a long time. It's already been 3 years since we got married, and in the beginning you were making dinners like a normal human being. So I suppose this really is the reason why you won't stop giving me blue cheese.
Are you trying to say that I'm not a normal human being anymore? How rude can you get?
You used to be really good at cooking. I was really grateful that I would come home from work with you and a great meal waiting for me. Before I knew it, you were adding such weird stuff to our food, and I had no idea why. I wondered if you were experimenting, but now I know that it was just because you were purposefully trying to pick a fight.
No, that wasn't my intention, but if it bothers you that much, you're free to leave. I'm not going to stop you. I don't plan on changing the way I cook either. I'm going to make what I like. If you want to live together, you'll just have to bear it. You're my husband. That's what you're supposed to do. If you can't do that, then there's no point being together.
See? You're obviously trying to get rid of me. I've never heard of a husband that has to endure the torture of eating blue cheese to every meal to be with his wife. And by the way, if I'm leaving, then you'll have to leave as well.
What are you talking about? This house is in my name. It belongs to me. I don't have to go anywhere. Why should I leave the house I've lived in ever since I was single? The only reason you have a roof over your head is because I let you live with me when we got married.
Yeah, that may be true, but I'm the only one that's been paying the rent since we got married. If you want me out, I'll happily leave. But will you be able to pay it by yourself? I think you'll have to find a job pronto, if you want to keep living here. You're the one that said you didn't want to work after getting married, so you've only got yourself to blame for your lack of funds.
I'll be fine. I'm going to ask for permanent alimony.
What? You're kidding? You don't actually think that the court will let you take anything from me, do you?
We're going to divorce because you're complaining about my cooking, so of course I'll get something. I won't be able to get a job straight away. And I don't plan on remarrying just yet.
Do you seriously think that you deserve financial support from the man you've been cheating on? And you're the one that's been telling me to leave. So, from the court's point of view, you'll be the one that owes me money. I'm shocked that you think that you have the right to ask anything of me after everything you've done.
My relationship with Thomas doesn't have anything to do with you, so of course it won't have anything to do with our divorce. Even if it did, you don't have any proof that I've been cheating on you, so there's no way for you to argue that it's caused our marriage to break down. There's nothing you can do, so you might as well just give in and pay up. Now that that's decided, can you hurry up and come back for your things before I throw it all out? I want you to be out as soon as possible.
I'm surprised you wanted a divorce that much.
What, are you going to beg me for forgiveness now?
No, I really did love you, and wanted us to be together for the rest of our lives. But I guess that was just me. I'm just trying to accept the reality that you would cheat on me. Did you really want me to leave that much? So much that you pushed me away with blue cheese?
That's what I've been trying to say. He's important to me. You're not, Calvin. That's why I don't want to be with you anymore. It's a shame if you can't understand it, but either way you'll have to accept it and leave. When we first got married and were still in our honeymoon phase, I thought that maybe you were the most important person to me. But after all of your complaining, I've had enough.
Fine. I suppose there's no point arguing that I was only complaining because you started bringing out strange combinations for dinner. Are you sure you want this? For us to split up?
Of course I'm sure. If you can't understand what I have with Tom, then there's no point in us being together. I don't want to be stuck in a marriage with you.
Fine, I'll give you a divorce. Are you happy with that?
Not quite. We'll still have to talk about money. I'll settle for everything you have saved. I know you don't have a lot, but it'll have to do. I don't want to be in debt after all. Now that would make me feel bad. You should be grateful that I'm so forgiving. But even with your minute savings, I should be able to live without any worries for a while. I think that's the best way we can settle this.
I'm not paying you anything. But I'm gonna talk to a lawyer and see what I can demand from you. I'm not leaving this marriage with nothing.
And how do you plan on doing that? You don't have any evidence to prove I've been cheating, so the court will just agree that I need financial support more than you do. Have you been listening to me at all?
I have been listening. And I've been talking with your beloved Thomas, too.
What? How did you contact him?
I asked your parents if they remembered anybody called Thomas Reed from your childhood. And luckily enough, they did. They gave me his phone number.
You spoke to my parents? Why would you do that?
It looks like you weren't lying when you said he was a childhood friend that lived in the neighborhood. Apparently he still lives close by. And when I told your mother that you were still in contact, she was really surprised. She was under the impression that you had already stopped talking to him way before we had gotten married. She seemed curious as to why I wanted Thomas's phone number, but I think she guessed without me telling her anything.
What did you say to her? How do you know that she guessed that I'm going out with Tom? Did she say anything back to you?
I didn't mention you at all. I only asked for his number, but I think that was enough. Well, I'll have to tell your parents anyway when I let them know that we're getting a divorce. It doesn't matter whether she already knows or not.
Don't do that. You can't do that to me. They can't know.
Why not? It's the truth.
What do you mean, why not? They're my parents. They don't have to know about Tom. If you tell them, you'll just be hurting them.
You're the one that's hurting them. You're the one with the affair. What's the real reason why you don't want to tell them? They're gonna want to know why we're getting divorced. Are you planning on lying to them as well?
Yeah, I'll tell them, but not like this. Give me some time, I'll tell them.
You just don't want to tell them because Thomas lives next door to your parents. with his wife and elderly parents.
My mom told you all that?
I'm amazed that you could do such a thing. You're having an affair with a man that has a family. And you don't even feel ashamed of it? Instead, you're trying to divert all blame from yourself and onto me.
But you don't have any evidence. Why should I feel bad when there's no way for you to tell them? They'll just pass it off as you being spiteful.
Thomas was panicking a lot when I told him who I was. He sensed why I was calling him and promised that he would give me anything I wanted as long as I didn't tell his wife. He offered to give me photos, even screenshots of your messages without me asking him.
You're lying. You're just saying that so that he'll give up. Tom would never betray me like that. I don't believe you.
It looks like you were the only one that thought your affair meant something. The most important thing to Thomas was that his wife didn't find out he was cheating. Apparently, she's pregnant and having a tough time dealing with it. So he doesn't want to stress her out right now. He seems really desperate that she doesn't find out.
But he told me that he loves me more than he loves his wife. He's supposed to not care about his wife at all. He's just saying all of that because he's working in the company his wife's parents own. I know that he loves me. He just can't say anything because he might lose his job. He'll protect me when he has to.
Are you sure about that? It didn't take him long to decide what his priorities were. He sold you out the second he found out what I wanted with him. Thanks to that, I have photographs showing the both of you together, and I'll be able to use them to file for a full divorce. He coughed up evidence without a problem, so I plan to keep my promise of not telling his wife. But I don't know what will happen if I tell your mother. She might go next door and tell Thomas's wife and parents what's happening between the two of you.
You can't let that happen. Nothing good will come of that. You'll destroy a family. Please don't do that. Tom will hate me if that happens. He won't ever want to be with me ever again. I'll lose him.
Tom this, Tom that. Even in this situation, you're still only thinking about yourself and him. You don't have a thought to spare for the man you married. He won't even own up to what you've done. You're the ones that are destroying the lives of those around you. If you're gonna act like that, then I have no choice. I'm gonna demand that you don't get any alimony. You can leave my stuff as it is. I'll collect it another day. I'm not coming back today. I've already found a friend who'll let me stay on their couch for a few days until I find my own place.
Wait, please. I'll do whatever you ask. I won't put weird stuff in your meals anymore. I won't do anything to provoke you anymore. Let's work on our marriage, so please don't do anything that will ruin Tom's relationship with his wife. I just don't want him to hate me.
We're already way past that point. You cheated on me. Do you really think that it'll be that easy to work on our marriage when you won't accept that you're at fault here? It's done. I've already spoken to your mother. Now, all you have to do is talk to my lawyer about preventing you from taking any more of my money. Our marriage is over, and you won't be able to leech off of me anymore. And your lover probably won't want to meet you ever again. But look on the bright side. At least you won't have to put in so much effort into thinking about how to annoy me with food.
After hearing about the divorce and the reason that led to it from Calvin, Natalie's mother headed straight to the Reed's house next door to speak with Thomas and his wife. Just as expected. Calvin didn't talk to Thomas's wife directly, but she ended up finding out about everything anyway. Natalie tried looking for Calvin in the hope that she could make amends, but it looked like he had already moved on from his friend's couch and found a new apartment. There was no way for her to contact him, but she received divorce papers from his lawyer, who warned her that Calvin was rejecting all pleas from her for them to get back together. Natalie was finding it hard to get a job and couldn't pay the rent for her own apartment. She reached out to Thomas for his help, but he blamed her for his wife finding out about his affair and had blocked her on all social media. She couldn't go to her parents for help either, since they were still in shock about what she had done. and because they lived right next door to Thomas. Natalie was alone and had no one to support her in her job search. She was soon feeling pressure from her landlord to pay off the rent and bills and had no choice but to borrow money. It was going to take years before she could get her life back on track.